Happy birthday, Mom! The 50th birthday is a huge one to celebrate. I left your birthday present on the living room table.
Thank you. I just arrived home from now, so let's see what you got me. What is the meaning of this? What are you saying? Gifting me this divorce papers.
I'm telling you to get a divorce, duh. I don't want an old lady as a mother. You should just get a divorce and go off somewhere.
Why would you say such mean things?
That's because you've caused me so much embarrassment. You came to cheer me on my game when I told you not to go because you'd embarrass me.
That's because I had a bunch of PDA stuff to handle as well. Of course, I can't just go because of what you told me. Plus, I wanted to see you out there in person.
Nobody asked you to. Because of that, my crush commented on how old you are. Do you understand how embarrassing that is for me? Nobody but me has a mother who decided to have kids at an old age. This was one thing that I wanted to hide from him, so I need you to get a divorce with Dad. As I said before, I don't need an old lady as a mother. You'd listen to the request of your cute daughter, right?
Well, you've given me the best present ever.
Huh?
I didn't know you hated your mother that badly, Madison. If that's the case, then of course I'll get a divorce. I'll sign the papers immediately.
Wait, you'd get a divorce with Dad?
What are you all hesitant about now? You're the one who prepared the papers for me.
Yeah, but you agreed with it way too easily. I thought you'd argue more about it and not agree to my request that smoothly.
I had been thinking about getting a divorce with your dad for a while now, so I figured that this would be a good chance to do so.
Really?
I figured you'd find out eventually, so might as well tell you. It turns out your dad has a young girlfriend.
Wait, he's been cheating?
Exactly. So I am gonna get a divorce. My daughter hates me and my husband is cheating on me. There's no reason for me to stay in this family any longer.
This is hilarious. Your husband and daughter not like you are way too pathetic. You are a pathetic mom.
I am. My child who I gave birth to gave me divorce papers. It kinda hurts, honestly.
A wrinkly head like you wouldn't be phased out as something like this. Anyways, after you sign the papers, make sure you start packing your things. You have no place in this house anymore, you hag.
How long have you known I've been cheating on you, Lily?
About a half a year ago, I think, when I was taking care of some shopping for some PDA business in the next town over, I saw you guys.
Oh, come on. I thought I was careful with the locations. I didn't expect you to be there at all.
We are getting a divorce, right? Don't you say that you don't want to.
Of course I'm fine with it. I'm happy that this is happening since I plan to do it myself eventually. I didn't expect to be able to get a divorce this quickly.
Wow, so she wasn't just for some fun then. Well, I guess you didn't pick her over your wife.
Of course I did. A younger woman is much better to be around than some hag. Besides, our daughter is overjoyed with having a younger mother.
So she caught you up with everything, it seems.
I showed her a picture of her new mom and she was so excited. A pretty woman like her is going to be her mother.
Good for her then. Now about what's going to happen from here on out. I will not be paying for childcare. In return, I won't be requesting consultation money from you. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, sure. I'll sign the divorce papers and submit them. I'll even submit them today.
Well then, thanks for everything, and have fun with your new family.
Having a young mom is so great. She's so pretty, and living with her has been so great. All the food she makes looks so fancy. I post all of them on Instagram.
I'm glad you guys are getting along so well.
We're so close, it's almost like we're mother and daughter, or maybe best friends. I've always wanted a parent who was like a friend. A 50-year-old hag could never be that. I'm so glad that my new mother is here.
My apologies for not being able to be your friend.
I asked her to come to my next game. If it was you, I would have never asked you, but she's so young and pretty, she can. I'm sure I can win with a young, beautiful mother cheering me on. I plan on showing off so that she'll give me so much praise.
I hope you do your best then, but I doubt you'll be able to focus in your match.
Hey, just because we get along so well doesn't mean you should get jealous and say mean things. A hag getting jealous is just too painful to see. Well, I guess it can't be helped. You're all alone from now on. I'm guessing you're not sure what to do once you grow older. It can't be helped that you are so jealous.
You seem to be in the highest of moods. I sat here listening to your talk only for you to insult the person who gave birth to you?
You got a divorce, so you have no right to act like a mother to me now. I'm not your kid anymore, so don't rely on me to take care of you in the future. If you have this much time to try act all motherly, then you should use that time to plan out your lonely life after retirement.
I'm already prepared to live alone, so you don't have to worry about that. So could we stop this now? I don't want to involve myself with you any longer.
A lonely hag is trying her best to appear strong and independent.
Whatever happens to you, I'm no longer your mother, so don't contact me. No matter how sad or hopeless you feel, I am not coming back.
Who would miss you? I'm so happy at the thought of never having to see your face ever again. I'm so excited for my next game anyways. Everyone will so be jealous of me.
We'll see about that.
Uh-huh.
Well, good luck with your game. I pray that you have an eventful day.
What do I do, Mom? I don't think I can continue on being on the soccer team. I don't think I can even go to school anymore. I don't want to see anybody anymore.
What?
How did this happen? I thought today was gonna be the best day ever. I was gonna brag about my mom and win the game. It was going to be so amazing.
It seemed to be that way until it didn't. I'm still not entirely sure of what's going on, though.
Everyone is so mean, Mom. When I brought my new mom to show everyone, nobody wanted to talk to me. When I went to talk to my teammate, they told me to stay away because they wanted to focus.
Oh my, what happened? You got along with everyone at the team.
We lost the game, and they all blamed me for it. They said that I was so distracted with bringing my new mom, I wasn't focused on the game. They told me that they don't want to be teammates with someone who would kick their parents out. Why do I have to be told such mean things?
Wow, that sounded like a really bad day.
How does everybody know that I kicked you out anyways? I know I told my friends about the divorce, but still, I know I told people about my new mother. But still, I haven't told anybody about kicking you out.
I'm sure everyone heard from their parents. I did tell all the parents at the PTA meeting about the divorce.
Wait, really?
The parents of your teammates were also there too, since we also take care of your soccer team. I had to apologize for having to leave them. I, of course, had to tell them the reason why I'm leaving is because I'm getting a divorce, and mentioned about how my daughter and husband left me.
You're kidding, right?
Everybody got so sad and cried for me. There were even some people who said he'd miss me. I'm sure I burdened some people with me being a bit older, but I did try my best to fit in with everyone. I guess my efforts were not in vain, seeing as they respected me.
You were that close to everybody else's mom?
Of course I was. I tried my best to get along with everyone just to be able to support you more.
What?
I understand how you don't like having a mother who is a bit older than everybody else's mother. That's why I tried my best to help you out and not cause you too much trouble socially. To support you, I did my best I could at the PTA regarding your team. I volunteered to do all the shopping tasks that nobody else wanted to do, and I did bring snacks I got from my job for everyone.
You were doing all of that?
I didn't want to drag you down, so I tried to be the most supportive mother for you, and because of that, I've gained the respect of other mothers.
Whoa.
But you decided to toss me out. The parents all probably had their thoughts about the situation and shared it with their children as well. That's probably why they were all so cold towards you today.
So my crush knows everything as well then. He pulled me aside and told me that even in middle school, I should understand how hard it is to give birth at an older age and how much you wanted me to be born. He said he couldn't believe that I would abandon a mother like that.
Wow, he is a very blunt kid, although it's nice to know that there are sweet kids like that out there.
It's all over for me. My teammates hate me, and my crush hates me. I don't know what to do. Do something, Mom.
That's not any of my business. I'm not your mother anymore, remember? If you're that upset, go cry about it to your new mother.
I can't do that. She's upset as well. She said that everyone is way too cold towards her and that children's sports are so boring. She suggested I quit and not do anything.
What?
I can't complain to her about all this at all. I want to see you, Mom. It can only be just during games and you can continue the PDA things. But please, come.
I refuse. Doing the PDA things for your club takes up my entire precious weekends. If it wasn't an issue before when I was doing it for my daughter, but I refuse to give it up for my weekend for another person's kid. I'm going to be spending my weekends for myself.
Please, Mom.
You're the one who says you can't go to soccer anymore, so it works out anyways. You worked so hard since elementary, but I guess that ends here. When you leave, make sure you say your thanks and goodbyes to everybody first.
Hey Lily, it's been a while. How have you been doing? I know it's only been a few months since the divorce. I'm sure you've been doing well since you don't have to worry about children anymore.
Huh? Are you trying to make me feel bad? It's annoying. Don't contact me for pointless things like that.
Wait, it's nothing like that, I swear. It's just that there is a lot going on right now and I couldn't help but complain.
What's there to complain about? Aren't you having fun with your new young wife? Everything should be fine with your rosé-colored glasses on.
Honestly, there's a lot of issues going on with us financially. Rather than roses, it's more like dandelions.
You're going through that much?
Just some slight miscalculation. Okay, it was more than a slight miscalculation. I didn't expect to struggle this much, though. My wife isn't making much money.
What?
The money you're making in your 50s and the money she's making in her 20s is completely different. Even with the both of us working, the amount is way too low. I just didn't expect it to affect us this much.
You normally would expect these kinds of things. The older you are with the job experience, the more money you'd make. I'm making $10,000 a month, which is impossible for a 20-year-old to make at an office job.
I admit that I made a mistake in my expectations and calculations since I wasn't thinking about all that. She said she'd continue working, so I figured we'd be okay. But recently she's been saying that she wants to be a stay-at-home mom.
What?
She assumes that what I make would be enough to support us. She wants to retire and just focus on taking care of me and Madison.
I'm starting to smell a suspicious plan brewing.
The amount I make is great and all, but it's nothing compared to what you make, especially with the amount you make with your age and all.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot from your job.
Plus, we made a lot of money, which made our taxes pretty pricey. That took up all my savings. Even if we get through with just my salary, it'd be barely enough. I wouldn't have enough to even start saving again.
Sounds like a rough time. Madison is starting high school, and that's only gonna be more money for you to spend on her.
That's why I'm begging you. Please, help out with childcare.
What?
$1,000 a month. Wait, no, 500 is fine. Please, pay for childcare. I promise only to spend that money on Madison. So please, help us out here.
I will absolutely not. I'm not paying a single cent. Didn't we sign the papers on terms of my not having to pay for childcare? I don't pay for childcare, and you won't give me consolation money.
Yeah, but...
So if I pay for childcare, will you give me consultation money? Is that what I'm hearing? I'm being generous here by not having you pay me a percentage of both your and your wife's salary. Yet here you are begging for childcare. Should I start asking for the money I deserve then?
You're kidding, right? Please don't. We're barely making a living here.
Then don't ask me for money. Simple.
Please, don't be so mean. This is for the sake of the child you gave birth to. Can you forgive yourself if you do this?
Absolutely. She's the one who abandoned me anyways.
But
I have no love for that child anymore. Whatever happens to you guys, and more specifically, whatever happens to that kid is no longer any of my business. This has nothing to do with my life.
But
if anything, I really don't like that kid. The fact that she has your blood in her veins makes me hate her.
What? You hate us that much?
Exactly. So don't bother me anymore. Oh, by the way, as my last act of kindness, I'll tell you this. You should keep an eye on Madison. She seems to be struggling with her soccer team.
What? Really?
Your new wife doesn't seem to get along with the other moms at the PTA. If things continue the way it is, Madison will probably quit soccer, even though she's been working hard since elementary.
She was complaining about how many things there are to do for the PTA. But you've been doing it and it was easy, right?
Yeah, they're easy, but there's so much to do for each task. After each game is a get-together planned out, you have to buy drinks or more sports goods, and at the end of each month, you have to have some papers ready to hand out to other moms.
You did all that?
How about you do all that instead then? That way Madison can continue playing soccer. Somebody better hurry and get the mothers to like you, or Madison's depression will only get worse.
She's depressed? How haven't I noticed?
While being the director of the company and being a housewife, I was doing all the PTA work while you were out cheating with a younger woman. Try going all through of that first before you start relying on me to save you. Anyways, as a husband and a father, you better do your best you can for your family. Good luck. David immediately went to the PTA to help out Madison's situation, but none of the mothers welcomed him with open arms. Eventually, Madison had to quit soccer due to being unable to handle the tension from her teammates. She gradually became shut in and barely goes to school anymore. As for the wife, she quit her job without further discussion, resulting in fights between her and David from morning to night. From all the eating she does due to stress David goes through, he gained an alarming amount of weight. The stress is starting to affect his working habits as well, completely ruining his chances at a better wage even in his 50s. Eventually, there were so many complaints about his work ethic that he got pressured by his peers to quit. David refuses to do so though, having to take care of his family and spends most of his time at work staring at the ceiling and spacing out. It'll be interesting to see how much longer this family will last.
James, please answer. Are our parents meeting her parents today?
Yeah, what about it?
What about it? I thought you said it was going to be next week.
Do you really think that you're in the position to be making demands?
What are you saying?
You're a middle school graduate, Sis. Stacy and I met at a higher level of education, college. So there's no way that a middle school graduate can be seen eating with us.
I don't get it. If that was the case, then you could have just told me not to come. No need to lie about the date to me. I got a text from Mom about today and was surprised, you know? I even requested time off for the meeting next week.
Saturdays are normally supposed to be days off, Sis. I guess a middle school graduate like yourself needs to work on the weekends as well to make ends meet. That sucks for you. If you went to college and got a decent job, you wouldn't have to. Just like me.
Again with this talk. You really shouldn't be looking down on people. This kind of stuff will eventually catch up to you.
Sure it will. Anyways, are we done here? We're about to start. We have no space for you, and even if you did come, we aren't going to feed you anything. Although I doubt you even know where it is.
So you're telling me that not only did you lie to me about the date, but also lied about the location?
Yeah, duh. Why would I host it at a sad place like that? This is my wedding we're talking about, Sis.
I can't believe you would do this to me.
You don't have the right to be upset over this. You're the one who thought the middle school graduate would be allowed to eat with us. Unbelievable.
School records shouldn't count. Plus, once again, I took next week off for this.
Wow, poor people don't have free time. I graduated from a good college and got a really good job, so I thankfully get the weekends off. Recently, we have had the option to work from home, and during those times, I barely work. Nobody would know anyway.
Are you taking your job for granted?
We work harder than you guys ever would. Those people who keep saying they're busy at work are the ones who can't even work properly. You of all people should know, since I've been saying it since we were younger. Anyways, you aren't allowed here, and if you manage to get here, I'll kick you out of here, so don't bother.
Fine. I'll explain to Mom about how you lied to me about the date.
You've always been a tattletale since we were younger. Do what you want. Mum will understand why I did it anyways.
She would?
I send the money every month. Not like you, who can't, since you couldn't get a decent job with your middle school diploma. I'm a businessman who makes a decent amount of money. Not having a person who can't take care of their parents at the meeting will make everything run smoother anyways.
Unable to take care of their parents?
Yeah, that's you, isn't it? A middle school graduate who can't take care of their parents. I can't believe I'm related to someone who's at such a low level in life. That has to be embarrassing for Mum and Dad as well.
Is that what they said about me? Do they truly think that?
It's what they think deep in their hearts. They failed to raise you properly, which is why the second child, me, was able to be so successful. You really are the failure of the family, sis.
That's enough. I'm busy with work to go there, and it's not like I'm allowed there anyways. So that's enough. I get it.
Poor people need to be working harder anyway. We'll be eating some delicious traditional Japanese food as we talk. Bye.
Hi, James's sister. I asked James for your contact info. I'm James's future wife, Stacy. Well, it's not a pleasure to meet you. I figured I'd still make basic introductions. Hello, Stacy. I'm James's older sister, Allie. Sorry for not being able to meet you in person. No worries. I already heard from James. He told me you're too busy with work since you're poor. It was the right choice for you not to come. What are you trying to say? Both my parents have amazing school records, which means they're a bit more picky with other people's records as well. My last boyfriend was from a lower-level college, so I wasn't allowed to marry him. Since James graduated from the same college as me, they approved. Oh, really? So, a middle school graduate coming to eat dinner with us would have turned the talk about marriage to discussions about life choices. My family really hates people with low school records. There is no way you would have been allowed at the same table as us. You, really don't hold back, do you? Well, it's true that you have a horrible school record, right? You really stopped going to school after middle school, right? Well, yes, I did stop after middle school. Even if you weren't a graduate from the same high-level college as us, you wouldn't have been allowed if you at least went to college. Poor James, burdened with a low-leveled human as a sister. The universe is really unfair to him. I'm not ashamed of my life choices, at all. You didn't even go to college. What are you saying? You, of all people, should be embarrassed. This is why you aren't even invited to the wedding ceremony. Not invited? I already got the invitation, though. Oh, you mean the fake one. The fake one. Don't tell me you guys sent me a fake date and location, just like the meeting. Oops, I said too much. I was supposed to keep that a secret until the end of the wedding. Pretend you didn't hear that, okay? We have no place for poor people at our wedding. Poor people? Can't you overlook my status for this? I'm his sister. So? Just because you're his sister doesn't mean I'll allow a poor person to attend my wedding. I refuse to even breathe the same air as you. Don't come to our wedding. Thanks. Just because of my social class. A poor person like you wouldn't even be able to give us money to congratulate us anyway, right? I'm granting you mercy from the embarrassment here. Not being able to gift someone at their wedding would be embarrassing, so to save you from that, you won't be invited.
I am not as poor as you think, so your mercy is not needed.
I'm not as poor as you think, she says. You really have some nerve to say that. You don't even have a proper job. Or is it that you somehow managed to get a job at some huge company?
Sure, I'm not an office employee.
The lowest people are allowed to give us a gift of $500. Your parents are bringing us $1,000. We're practically set from just the money everyone is bringing us. The money that everyone brings will be enough to pay for a perfect honeymoon.
So you guys are gonna use up all the money people give you for your marriage on things like that?
Well, yeah. We are going to be spending a lot of money together. Unlike you, I studied other languages, so I want to go on many trips abroad. For example, recently I had a random craving for some spicy food, so James and I went on a trip to Korea for the day.
So you guys have no thoughts about saving money?
We're buying memories and experiences with money. We need to try a lot of different things in life. That's how smart people spend their money. I doubt you'd understand that, though.
I get what you're trying to say, Stacy.
Well, then I'm glad we've come to an understanding.
My parents are telling me to go to the wedding, but seeing as how that's not permitted by you, I'll talk to them about it.
Oh, really? Well, if you can bring $3,000, then we can at least feed you. I don't want you celebrating anything for me, so don't expect much else. You don't have to come, but just keep that offer in mind.
Goodbye!
I don't know how in the world you figured out the time and place of the wedding, but I won't allow you to ruin my wedding with your presence.
I am attending the wedding as the sister of the groom, that's it. Although I didn't expect you to kick me out like that.
Of course I would! I told you that poor people are not allowed here. Somebody who can't afford to pay at least $500 isn't allowed here. Let me dumb down my words for you. A girl who only graduated from middle school has no place from my wedding.
Okay, so then you don't want the $1,000 then?
What? $1,000?
I had $1,000 prepared for my brother's wedding, but seeing as I got kicked out, I can't hand that money over.
Stop bluffing. There is no way that someone who didn't even go to high school could prepare $1,000. The ones who are giving us $1,000 are your parents.
I was the one who was going to hand them the $1,000 to give you guys.
What? Handed them the money?
Let me dumb it down for you. The money that my parents promised to bring you guys was coming from me. It's my money.
What are you talking about?
As I said before, the money they were going to give you was coming from me, who wanted to give you guys $1,000 as a congratulations.
But you're poor! There is no way you're able to do that.
I'm not a normal office employee, but I do manage a company, so I'm not poor.
You're a manager.
The company isn't going broke anytime soon, and we aren't in debt. My yearly salary is about $300,000. Not trying to brag, but I do live a rather comfy life.
I have never heard of such things before.
I was surprised when my parents told me where you guys hosted the meeting. I often use that place for my lunch.
Often use it for lunch? Wait, but that place is crazy expensive.
You also said trips abroad, right? That you studied languages? Buying experience must be nice. I have villas in Australia, Berlin, and Spain, so if you guys are in the area, let me know. I can tell you guys the spots I recommend.
Villas? Wait, you have to be lying, right? James never heard of this stuff.
My brother seems to have no interest in my life to bother asking. He doesn't know, and I haven't told him.
Wait, so you are rich, even with just a middle school diploma? You're really the manager of a company.
I can confidently say that I make more than James does, but it seems like I wasn't welcomed here. I'm not even seen as a sibling to him. I think it's best if we don't interact with each other from now on.
Congrats on the wedding. I hope you guys are forever happy together. Wait! Please wait! I didn't know anything. The $1,000 coming from you, or how much of a wonderful person you really are. Please come back to the venue.
I thought your parents didn't like people with bad school records. I can't sour the happiness you guys have with my presence.
No, you wouldn't. They won't know of your school records if nobody says anything. Let's get along from now on, okay? I've always wanted to go to Berlin.
Don't force yourself to be nice to me. I have no intentions of interacting with you guys.
What? Why?
Why? Well, that's because you kicked me out of the wedding venue. You didn't really have any positive thoughts about me, and then have the nerve to ask to get along with me? That's not something I can do, even on my level of patience.
That's because the information given about you is wrong. The situation has changed now.
So you've changed your mind about me after figuring out what I do for a living. You're turning the other cheek over my financial status.
It may seem like that, but
that's the only way I can see it.
I've always wanted an older sister.
I doubt you and I would get along well. This also applies to James and I. With that, I'll be taking my leave now.
Please wait, Ellie! Please!
Why did you leave? If you have money, then you should have said so. What's up with the whole manager thing anyways?
What's up is that it's my job.
How come I've never heard about it?
You had no interest in my life. Mom and Dad know about it, though.
That's so unfair. Anyways, the $1,000.
The money was a gift based on my feelings toward you guys. But seeing as how I've been treated, you guys don't deserve it.
Mum and Dad were going to give it to us.
Yeah, but it's my money. I had wanted to give you the money myself, considering it was my brother's wedding. But giving more money than our parents felt rather rude, so I asked them to give it to you guys in my place.
If you want to give us that money, we'll gladly take it, so come back with it.
I said I don't want to anymore. This money will be used for Mom and Dad to celebrate their 35th anniversary instead. I'll pay for a trip somewhere.
Our money.
By the way, didn't you say that you send Mom and Dad money every month?
Yeah?
I asked them about it, and they told me that you give them about $50 a month, and spend more money than what you give them food and drinks. You even have to pay for your gasoline.
Seeing their child's face should be enough.
Don't you feel ashamed saying all that stuff to me when you only give them $50?
I'm not taking this from somebody who doesn't send a single cent.
I may not be sending them money every month, but I've paid for the house renovations and the new cars they got.
What? You said you've been paying for what?
In total, I've spent over $100,000 for them.
You're kidding, right?
Anyways, I've decided not to involve myself with you guys. Isn't that what you guys wanted as well?
I get it. I apologize.
You apologize?
So please come back to the venue now. If you don't, we'll be in serious trouble.
What?
The guests, who were our relatives, who saw you get kicked out by Stacy, all took their money and left. They were upset over the fact that somebody who wanted to congratulate us was getting kicked out and accused us of picking who can congratulate us.
Glad they could realize what was wrong.
Without the money from the guests, we're in trouble. Especially the $1,000 that Mum and Dad was supposed to hand us. We need the money.
You guys don't save money either.
Oh, if you understand, then hurry up and bring us the money. Convince our family to come back as well, please.
I refuse. I went out of the way to make room in my busy schedule for the wedding, only to get kicked out. I'm not in the most friendly of moods. I don't want to associate myself with you guys, which I think is what's for the best for all of us. So with that, I would like to say goodbye.
It wouldn't benefit us all. My boss is getting all annoyed over everything. Mum and Dad are trying to leave. A wedding without relatives, let alone parents being there, is nothing but embarrassing.
This is all your fault.
Stacy was the one who kicked you out.
And if you didn't try to stop her, I saw you smirking behind her as she was kicking me out.
That's...
I don't associate myself with you guys, so go ahead and enjoy a wonderful life together.
Wait, I didn't know you were so successful.
That may be true, but you still look down on me for my school records. That doesn't excuse all those words and actions you've done towards me. Maybe you should reflect on your actions. What's happening right now is all due to you and Stacy's actions.
Oh, I'm begging you, sis. Please, come back to the venue. Sis, oh, I didn't know things would turn out this way.
I've heard that relatives of both sides left the wedding afterwards. The wedding was a complete bust. Also, after seeing that mess of a wedding, James's boss found him to be suspicious, and after looking into it, discovered that he was slacking off during the times he was working from home. He apparently feels suffocated at work with how much they watch over him. With the wedding a complete bust, they couldn't pay for the venue with the money they were supposed to receive. They threw around the word poor at me a lot, but in the end actually became poor themselves.
Stuart, Dad's condition just got a lot worse. I need you to come over to the hospital as soon as possible.
No can do.
What do you mean? We both know that you didn't go to work today.
Exactly. I can't go because it's my day off from work. Well, thanks to Dad, of course. So I'm going to enjoy my extra day off. Tell him to fight it off till I have to go to work again or something.
What the hell?
Already decided to take my time and rest for today. And there's nothing that's going to change that. As an active and crucial member of our society's workforce, I need as much rest as I can get when I can get it.
You're joking, right? Your own father's condition is taking a toll right now. He needs you. And this might be the last time you'll be able to see him alive.
Yeah, and this might be my last chance to get some proper rest in a week.
Do you really not think that you owe him just this much? To see him and say a proper goodbye before he goes? Do you even know what he's done for you up until now?
It's not like I ever asked him to do anything for me. It's his free will, so I owe nothing.
Did you really just say that? He'll let you go to a private school even though it costs an insane amount each year. And that's because you didn't study at all during high school and couldn't make it into a public school in our state. He even let you try all of those extracurriculars like horse riding and swimming just because you thought they were cool. Not to mention how you quit all of those within half a year because you couldn't take even a bit of failure. Did you really never ask him for anything he gave you? Really? How much money and effort and care do you think he's putting into raising you?
It's literally required by law that a parent or guardian has to put in the money and effort and care in raising a child. That's the cost of making a child. It was his choice to make a child, so he got what he asked for. I don't see what you're so upset about here.
Are you talking about compulsory education? If you didn't know, that's only up until high school. Therefore, he was not obligated at all to send you to college. He did that for you.
Just shut up. Leave me alone.
Even when you got married, your pride kept you from hosting a wedding that you can actually afford. And you begged Dad to pay the amount that you couldn't pay off by yourself. Your pathetic self was literally begging him.
I paid him back by showing his son getting married in the best way possible. How much more does he want?
Have you really not understood how much you've been saved by him up until now? Even after hearing those stories? And it isn't just these episodes. There's hundreds and thousands more that I can't even remember about.
Are you done? As I said a while ago, I'm gonna go get some quality rest, and nothing's gonna stop me from getting it. If you still want to say something, tell Anne. I'm sure she's out somewhere right now. She might be able to head over there instead of me if you asked her to.
Anne?
Yeah? She's my wife, so she's like a sister-in-law to you, right?
So what? It doesn't matter whether Anne comes to visit or not. All that matters is whether you, his actual son, is coming to visit him for one last time or not.
Take good care of Anne. Don't be too mean to her. Oh, and also, what's going on with his inheritance?
Inheritance?
Yeah, contact me when all that's decided.
Dad's not in his best shape, but he's still fighting.
Oh, and also make sure to get the funeral on a weekday. I'll get to skip going to work again. Oh, and also, Dad's inheritance will be divided by 3. 1/3 for me, 1/3 for you, 1/3 for Anne. Got it? So me and Anne get 2/3 of his inheritance.
How did you turn out like this?
I have no idea how to manage a funeral, by the way, so I'm gonna have to leave all of that to you, sis. You're the firstborn, so you're basically obligated to do it anyways. You still live in Dad's house, so you're obviously the one who's most in debt. I don't owe anything of that sort to him, so you better do your best and repay him for everything he's done for you.
How could a person be raised to be so selfish?
You're saying I'm selfish? You barely graduated from high school and kept taking money from Dad until he died.
Taking his money?
Yeah. How do you have the nerve to keep getting raised by your dad at your age? You should have sustained your own life starting from way earlier on.
Did you really just say that to me? Without understanding a thing about your own family. You never even came back to visit us, so you wouldn't know why I had to do what I had to do.
I made calls pretty frequently. It's not like you never heard my voice or anything. How is a grown man with his own family supposed to visit his parents every week, huh?
The only reason you called us was to ask for money from Dad. You called on his birthday last year and Dad was really happy that you did that for once. But you didn't even say the phrase, happy birthday. You just called him to ask him for money. Again. He just laughed it off, but I could see the tears he was holding back.
You expect me to sing happy birthday to him on the phone? How old do you think I am? 4? A grown man wouldn't do that, and it should be common sense. I don't even know the man's birthday.
But you somehow still have the nerve to ask for money on your own birthday every single year, right?
Yeah, because I'm his son. I get to receive things from him. That's what being a parent is.
You know what? Fine. Have it your way. I just get stressed talking to you. You don't have to come to the hospital. Not that you would have if I were to ask you to.
Yeah. Good luck with the funeral.
Hey, Anne? Where are you right now? Stuart just tells me that he doesn't know where you are no matter how many times I ask him. The cremation is about to start. I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss it, but we're all about to get on the bus to get there.
Hi, please don't mind me. You all can start heading there.
But we can't just leave you, honey.
It's fine, really. I know where the crematorium is, so I can get there on my own. My stomach hasn't been doing too well since this morning.
Really? Are you okay?
Yes, I just need a bit of time. I took some medicine just now, so I'm sure I'll get better soon. So, I insist, please don't mind me and head over to the crematorium without me. I'll be there with you all within half an hour.
Okay, honey, but take your time. We'll be there waiting for you. Should I tell Stuart to stay here at the hall to wait for you?
No, thank you. I'm sure he'll like to be there from the start till the end, and I'm confident that I'll be fine on my own.
I don't think he gives the slightest crap about this whole thing, but...
Regardless, I'll be fine on my own, so don't mind me. Please.
Alright. Well, text me if you need anything. I'll send Stuart right over, okay? Oh, and I also told the staff members to prepare a taxi for you, so just tell them when you're ready and you'll have a ride.
Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for getting a stomachache at such an important time. I'll be sure to keep Stuart updated about the situation, so if you're ever wondering how I'm doing, please ask him.
Okay, sweetie. Anne? Are you sure you're alright?
Yes, of course. Oh no, Is it already about to end?
We're about to bury him.
I'm so sorry that I couldn't make it. Please don't mind me and focus on saying your last goodbye to your father. I really am doing fine over here. In fact, I'm doing great.
Really? Are you feeling better?
Actually, I'm feeling ecstatic.
What do you mean ecstatic?
I just rode a taxi here to your father's house. I'm packing up all of your things right now.
What? Packing up my things? At my dad's house? I thought you were in the bathroom. Didn't you have a stomachache?
Actually, that was a lie. My stomach doesn't hurt at all. I mean, my stomach hurt earlier from laughing so hard at how easy this was though.
What do you mean? And why are you at my house? You don't even have a key, right?
Actually, I borrowed a key from Stuart.
My brother doesn't have a key either.
He said he borrowed the key from your purse. You know, since it was wide open since this morning because you were so busy managing the funeral.
Is this a joke? You two took the key from my purse?
Actually, we took your keys from your purse. Your key case. You keep so many different keys in there. Do you know how long it took me to find the right one to your door? What are the other ones for anyways? I mean, I'm sure you had to manage a lot of keys after you joined your dad's company straight out of high school. I'm surprised a high school graduate was able to manage so many different keys.
There are very, very important ones in there. Please give them back right now.
Don't worry, I won't lose them. And I can't head over there and hand them to you right now. I'm in the middle of a very important process of organizing your things right now.
Why are you in my house organizing my things?
Well, of course, because this house is going to belong to Stuart and I in a little bit, right? So I need to get to work and pack up everything that's going to get in the way of our new life in this house. And the perfect timing was now, since you're not going to be here for a while.
What do you mean the house is going to belong to you two?
I heard from Stuart that 2/3 of your father's inheritance is going to belong to us. His money, company, and his house. These are the 3 main things that he's leaving behind, right? So we talked it out and decided that Stuart and I should get the house and the company and you can have half of this money.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't even know who gets what yet. And the only people with legal rights to his inheritance are his children by blood, meaning me and my brother. You're not included, Anne. Unless he left it in his will that he wanted to include you too, of course.
What do you mean? I'm basically his daughter.
Yeah, you're her daughter-in-law on paper, but you aren't related to him through blood.
Oh, don't be so cold, Patricia.
Cold? You've never taken care of my father or even showed any type of care towards him. But now you act like you care in the slightest way because there's money involved? You seem way colder than me through my eyes.
Oh my God! How dare you!
I've always thought about all of you in the same way as my family. Even if we were to hypothetically divide his inheritance into 3, how does it make sense that you two get the house and the company, and I only get half of his money? That isn't even at all.
Just think about it. Your dad's a company owner, and he doesn't even have a proper hobby that would cost him any money. And he doesn't spend money for anything else, right? So that means he has savings that we could only dream of. Therefore, that portion of his inheritance is most likely to be way more in value than the other 2.
Please stop using your simple-minded assumptions as proof towards your argument.
Just listen. So Stuart becomes the new boss, right? And I become the boss of the house and the home that he left behind. And we use half of the money that we get to reform the house. And voila! Dream mansion. That's our plan. So I'm going to have to throw out everything that is unnecessary for us to accomplish the plan.
Don't you dare touch anything that belongs to my father.
Oh, I see. Your high school graduate brain can process all of this. I said, we're going to throw out everything that's unnecessary. Everything your dad has is part of his inheritance, so we're going to sell it all and make money off of it. So why would I throw it away? You need to start learning how to use your brain. When Stuart becomes the boss, I'll tell him about this, and how we don't need a high school graduate working for us.
Wait, so you're just going to throw out my stuff?
What did I say earlier? Not a single soul on this planet benefits from you staying in this house, you parasite. So, I'll be throwing everything out into the dumpster. Got it?
Wait, I have some very important things for work around my desk.
Okay, then I'll just pile everything up around the front door, got it? You can pick up whatever you need and we'll throw out the rest for you. How kind of me. You have all of the night to get everything out of the way. The garbage truck is going to be taking out everything else that is there by tomorrow morning.
You people are sick. I thought my brother was the worst, but you're just as bad. You never even bothered asking how he was or coming over to say hi. But as soon as he dies, you people do this? Do you really think that things are going to go your way?
The same goes for you. Did you really think that you were going to become the next boss of your father's company after he died? Why on earth would he choose a high school graduate over a college graduate? Just use a bit of common sense and you could have figured it out on your own. Don't think you'll get to keep sucking your daddy's blood forever, you pest. A parasite like you needs to leave right now.
Whatever. Good luck with getting away with that.
You're the one who needs the luck, Patricia, because my husband is going to be the next boss of your dad's company, and I'm going to be the wife of the boss, which means that we're well off for the rest of our lives. Make sure to get everything off on the front porch, because I'm sure you'll need everything you have to survive from now on. Hey, Patricia, is it true that you came over to the house while I was gone? Stop invading our property. That house belongs to me and my husband.
I just went over to organize my father's things.
Oh, okay. Did you find anything that was worth money? And don't think you can get away with hiding anything from us. We'll take any legal actions necessary if we find out what happens.
Sadly, no. I didn't find anything that was worth money. I took the notebook with his favorite restaurants from all over the country though, if that's fine.
Wow, I didn't know he had an actual hobby.
I finished organizing a good portion of his belongings, so I'm sure the house is pretty empty now.
I mean, it's pretty empty now. But are you sure that there is really nothing worth money in there? And once again, don't lie.
I'm not going to lie. And my father didn't have anything expensive enough to be worth noting anyways.
Really? But I thought all business owners have lots and lots of expensive things.
You just reminded me. When is Stuart going to come to visit the company? He's joining us, right?
The CEO is very busy. He doesn't have time to show up at work. Now, when is his salary going to be paid? For being the CEO.
I have no idea what you're thinking is the case here, but I'm the boss of my dad's company now, so he's going to have an interview with me if he really wants to join.
What? What do you mean you're the boss? We talked about how we're going to divide the inheritance already.
The story about you two getting 2/3 of his inheritance?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Dad named me as the next boss before he passed away. And I've already been head of the company for over 6 months now.
You're lying. Why wouldn't you tell us about that?
I mean, the only time that you'd ever bother talking to us was when you guys wanted money, and you two would either ignore us or not listen to what we were saying when we'd reach out to you. So no wonder you two didn't know. And also, the ownership of the house you're living in right now was changed to be under my name. So what happens to that house is completely up to me.
What? Yeah, my father suddenly fell ill and got hospitalized, so we talked everything out in advance. Because we knew that Stuart is going to try and make things go their way, but I didn't expect you to leave in the middle of the funeral and throw my stuff out. Explain all of this right now. What do you mean, talked everything out? I became boss of the company as planned, before my dad even fell ill. We changed the owner of the house to my name after my dad got hospitalized, and he gave every single cent that he owned to me while he was still alive. Wait, so what does that leave us with? I mean, I think he has a few dollars in his bank account right now. You can have that. A few dollars? Yep. And also, if you two are planning to stay in that house, I'm going to have to ask you to pay rent. Judging by the rent of the other houses in that area, and of course with a discount since you guys are family, I'd say around $2,000 a month. What? What makes you think we could pay the amount every month? We aren't even working right now. You guys are unemployed? Of course we are. Stuart was supposed to take over the company. Speaking of, change places with Stuart right now. Get off your high horse, you high school graduate. I have graduated from college. What? Stop lying. I'm not lying. I was about to go on to getting a degree in college, but then my mother suddenly passed away right there and then. So I joined my dad's company to take her place. We didn't have many workers back then and business was slow, but I worked really hard and got the company back on track. So after the company was stable enough, I pursued a degree in college while staying over at my dad's house whenever we needed to have a meeting. You just stayed over? Weren't you living there like a leech? Have I never told you before? I have my own house and live there. Did you really think I had an oddly few amount of things when you threw my belongings onto the porch? Well, I thought it was a proper amount. I live in an apartment on the 40th floor. On the 40th floor? Yeah, my dad bought it for me. Right when our company was finally recovering from its downhill trail, he said it was time to make things even for everything he did for Stuart. So, he buys you a gorgeous apartment. Yeah, it's pretty close to my university too. Wait a minute, university? I thought you joined your dad's company as soon as you graduated from high school. That's right, and after I was able to stabilize my father's company, I redid my college admissions and graduated with a degree. I studied business at school, and I applied everything I learned directly to work. Ever since I started doing so, the sales kept going up, so I had a really good time at college. I think it was just around the time you guys were getting married. That's when I was getting graduated. How did we never notice? I'm pretty sure it was because you had absolutely no interest in me. Wait, so there's nothing left behind for the two of us? You can have the 2/3 of the few bucks that are still left in my dad's bank account. You're lying. How are we supposed to live off that kind of money? You two are the ones who quit your jobs, aren't you? Oh, and by the way, if you can't pay the rent, then I'm going to have to ask you two to leave the house. Please? I'm the one who has the rights to the house, so $2,000 by the end of the month. Capiche? How am I supposed to do that? Then, please make your way to the door and... I can't do that either. There's nowhere else for us to go. You own a business. You have your own house. Please just let us stay there until we get off our feet on the ground. And Stuart doesn't have to be the boss. He can be your assistant. Just please, hire him. I'm sorry, but I can't just do that. You told me that you're going to kick me out for being a high school graduate, right? That high school graduates aren't fit for being stable members of society? There's nothing to worry about that. Stuart's a college graduate. He'll get everything done properly for you. Stuart hasn't graduated from college. Wait, what? Yeah, he made our dad pay some expensive college fees and got into a private college. But he kept skipping class and got held back for a year. After that,
He kept complaining about having to study alongside people who are a year younger than him. One day, he just quit going altogether.
Wait, so that means...
Yeah, he's a high school graduate.
What?
Sorry for having to be the one to tell you. I'm not childish like him, so I never brought it up. And it's not his education that keeps me from hiring him. It's his lack of care towards others and motivation to keep improving at what he does that keeps me from hiring him. Tell him that I wish him good luck in finding a new job. Well then, text me when you have my rent ready.
Wait, Patricia, please, just help us this once. We're here cute siblings, right? Just give us one last chance.
After that, I had to kick out the couple since they couldn't afford to pay the rent. On the other hand, I rented out the apartment that I was living alone in and moved back to the house that my father left behind for me. With the money he left behind for me, I reformed my house to be as clean as a newly built one. Regarding my love life, I ended up marrying a man who I had been working with for a few years, and a trusted assistant of my father. My brother and his wife kept bothering me about money, so I had to file a restraining order on them. I heard that they were currently living on Anne's parents' house, but they're being forced to pay 2/3 of their salary as rent.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.